Good day, gardeners. This is Dick Zondag, the garden doctor, and today the glads look like they're anxious to get out, and we'll show you what how they overwintered. So as you remember last fall when we dug the glads and got them ready to go, we put them in these screen bottom flats, and they were overwintered in my garage because I have heat in the garage, and you can already see that some of them are anxious to get out in the field, and so I think they did a very good job of overwintering. We did some in the screen bottom flats, and this is what they look like. And so we can see very little disease problem in these glads, and you can already see the corms are starting to awaken. And remember, corms are different than bulbs. Corms are actually a piece of stem tissue, and so they have buds all the way around them. So they not only will sprout from the top like this particular bulb, but they can also sprout with side buds like these, and so we're going to take advantage of that. We're going to show you how the bags overwintered. I had a little bit of video in the garage, and we're going to take this flat and we're going to dump them out and see how they overwintered in the mesh bags, because the mesh bags have a lot of air around them. They can the bulbs don't get wet in storage, and so they store very well. So we're going to just dump them out. And they're doing about the same thing that the glads that are in the flats are doing. They're starting to throw out some buds. So we're going to get them in the ground next week. But what I wanted to show you is that when you have nice large bulbs like this, and you want to multiply the bulbs that you have, you can do a very simple thing and cut them in half, or cut them so that you have two bulbs. And what we're going to do is plant them out with the cut bulbs in one area and the whole bulbs in another area, and that way we can show you sometimes these bulbs will sprout 2 or 3 bulbs, and so you'll get 2 or 3 flowers. So I'm going to be going over these glads this morning. I'm not going to videotape all of it, but we'll get them planted probably in about a week, because I want to let this cut surface heal over like you do with potatoes. You let the surface dry out, and it forms a callus tissue over that surface, and that way the bulb will survive when it gets in the ground. So I'm going to take the biggest bulbs and we're just going to cut them in half. Another way that glads can be reproduced is from the bulblets or corms. They're actually corms that came off the bottoms of the bulbs. Now we saved a few of them, and we're going to plant these out and show you that, you know, these corms are going to grow, and they'll form a bulb about this size, and then next year you plant that back and the bulbs will be this size. For planting any kind of bulb, bulbs, and actually I use this for planting tomato plants and all the garden plants. It's just a real easy way to make a hole, and then you can work around it. So we're planting glads this morning, and I've got about a dozen glads, so we're just going to make a dozen holes here, and then I'll show you exactly what we're going to do. what we're going to do is plant the bulbs. Remember, the bigger the bulb, the deeper you have to plant them, because if they're big bulbs, you got to put them about 6 inches deep, because if you don't, the plant is much bigger with a bigger bulb and the flower will fall over. So this is a medium-sized bulb, so we're going to go down about 4 inches. So we've loosened the soil with the drill, and so we're just going to take some of the soil out, plant them so that the pointed side is up. Although the 2 rows just north of where we're planting these were planted with the nursery tractor planter, and they actually just dumped the glads into the trench as they were going down the trench, and whatever way they fell, they stayed. And what you'll find is that the bulbs will, even if they're upside down, will come around and find their way out of the hole. So I'm going to take the rake and level off the ground. I will water them in tonight. Maybe put a little bit of fertilizer on top to get them growing. But once you've got the glads in the ground, they're ready to go. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button and the bell so you're notified when we put out a new video. And we hope to have some pretty red glads coming out of the ground here.